Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. We're jumping straight into it today, all right, for a different kind of video. Make sure to hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below what you think of my list. But with all of these delays, the fall gaming season is looking pretty thin. But Nintendo, they've got more quantity than just about anybody. So I wanted to give you a good look at the best Switch games for the rest of 2021. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that we've already played, and I know E3 was pretty jam-packed, but what are the 8 best? All right, I could have given you a list of 10 or 20 or 30, but I wanted to make it tough on myself, and I wanted to really try to get down to the quality and the ones I'm most excited for and the ones I'm circling on my calendar. So let me know in the comments down below what games you're most excited for in the rest of 2021, and let's get right into it. All right, I'm gonna give a couple honorable mentions. These games have to have release dates. So unfortunately, Hollow Knight Silksong, even though I pray it comes out soon, it doesn't qualify and it probably won't even make this year. And then a game like Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, which impressed the heck out of me way back in 2019 at E3, I can't put it on the list because they haven't announced a date, even though I think it'll be pretty darn cool. I also want to give a shout out to Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania because it seems like that one is coming together quite nicely, but it didn't quite make the cut. So what did, in a year where we've already had new Pokemon Snap, Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and Zelda Skyward Sword? Well, there's a lot more to come, and my first pick is Mario Party Superstars, which you can dismiss as just a collection of old Mario parties, but it's a collection of the best Mario parties. Look, this is my entire childhood and all my favorite memories with this franchise. 5 boards from the N64 era, and 100 minigames, the best ones, across the N64 and GameCube eras. So this is just taking all of what made Mario Party, and giving it to us again, but with better graphics, true online play, and I have to believe there's some more features beneath the surface. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one show up at Nintendo's Fall Direct and learn a bit more about this game. But man, I think this is gonna be very popular this holiday season because it kind of erases some of the more modern gimmicks that bog down the gameplay. They have made slight tweaks to the boards to make them better, and I really love that they're taking the best mini games, not just from the N64, but yeah, basically the first 7 Mario parties, including the one where you stretch Bowser's face. It's one of my OG favorites. And you know, incorporating actual real online play for the first time is nothing to scoff at. And you saw how well Super Mario Party sold on Switch a few years back. I think this one is gonna do really, really good, and I'm really excited to play with everybody. My brother's going to college and we get to duke it out in Mario Party from afar. That's a beautiful thing. Now, you don't have to cost $60 to make my list. So Kiwi is my next pick. This one's actually $25, and I'm expecting it to be one of my favorite indie games of the year because it looks to capture the charm and fun and chaos that Overcooked has brought to my face and my friends' faces for the past few years. I love that game. It's one of my favorites of all, not just indie, but I love it as a multiplayer mayhem session. And Kiwi looks to maybe be a little more low-key, but you're running a post office, all right? That's already a chaotic place, and you're using words and letters and mailing things, and there's all sorts of obstacles and goofy characters and lots of cool customization. It has all the building blocks to be right there with Overcooked, and all it's gonna take is that click. A game like this is probably going to be fun, it's probably gonna be enjoyable, but will it last? That's all I'm looking for from Kiwi. Will it last? And that's gotta just hit with me and the people I play with. I love Overcooked because it's something I can hand to anyone and we can have fun. You don't have to be the best with a first-person shooter. You don't have to be amazing at a sports title. In fact, if you're not so great, it might even be more exciting because then I get into bossy Zach mode. I'm like, no, you gotta go over here. We gotta do this. Come on, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, I just love those moments. I love exhilarating finales, close calls, race to the finish. That's where it's at, and I hope Kiwi can just kind of bring that intensity. There actually looks to be quite a bit of variety in what you're doing here, and that could be a curse or a blessing. Overcooked found success just nailing one very specific formula and tweaking it slightly. We'll have to see if postal work is anywhere near as fun as Crazy Kitchen Antics later this month. All right, for number 3, it just makes too much sense. It's No More Heroes 3, which takes the insanity and ups it to 11. Suda51 bestowing his beautiful mind upon us on Switch in August. I love boss battles, I love chaos, and I kind of like when a game just runs wild, all right? This isn't gonna be a graphical showpiece, and it probably won't be the best game from a technical or even mechanics standpoint, but you know it's gonna surprise you. There's this galactic federation of fighters that you have to face off against. They've opened up Santa Destroy, and the open world looks a little barren, but I'm not here for that. I'm here for the antics, I'm here for the weird, and I'm here for just the way that game design occurs to suit it. It's so strange, but that can be so beautiful. I had a lot of fun with No More Heroes 1 or 2, and while I wouldn't call either of them a crowning achievement of gaming, I would call them memorable. I think back to the games I love most, and they're the ones that stick with me. Not because it has the absolute perfect storyline or the most fleshed out multiplayer, but because it does something unique. No game is more unique than No More Heroes 3 for Switch this year. And I'm ready to mow lawns. I'm ready to get jiggy with a whole bunch of space warriors. It's almost got a Dragon Ball Z vibe as you face off against the universe's best. With Beam Katana in hand and other attacks that take advantage of the Joy-Con, I am ready to destroy the action figure ensemble of baddie bosses, and I just hope that the story is followable. I know it's gonna be bananas, but I just hope it's followable. Really looking forward to this one. Back on the indie beat, our fourth title is Eastward. This one is coming soon. In fact, it might be the stealth drop at the August Indie World presentation. It's $25 and it seems to put together a Last of Us meets top-down Zelda type adventure in a post-apocalyptic wasteland with a mysterious girl and a grizzled old man. There's all sorts of weaponry, there's cooking, there's looting, and it just has so much style. It's got a weird style though. It's not glitzy, it's murky, and I just really love the look of everything they've got. I hope the story is engaging. I know that it's gonna be puzzling because they've promised a lot of environmental puzzles, and I've seen gameplay where you're utilizing both characters, their different abilities, different weapons, to work your way through the world, weaving together and then apart and back together again. Chucklefish is the publisher. They do a lot of really awesome work, especially on Switch, and we've been waiting. I hope the extra time in the oven has helped deliver Eastward as a top tier indie title because my expectations are sky high for this one. I'm a bit worried it might be too easy or repetitive, but they do promise ferocious boss battles and a lot of different locales, towns and other environments as you traverse cross country via a railway. It looks amazing, and I hope that the hey, follow mechanic doesn't become annoying. You are basically escorting the entire game, and if they can hook you with the story, nail some of the puzzles, and deliver satisfying combat with interesting collectibles, Eastward could be as good as it looks. I know that it's gonna appease the eyes. I just hope that it also appeases my heart. Here we go again. Zach, you're too clever. Number 5, Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is a weird pick for me as I don't have much familiarity with this franchise, but they won me over with the E3 Treehouse presentation. This game looks crazy, and that's a theme for me, games that are unique and trying to do something different, but I appreciate the scope and scale here. They're doing a lot with the Switch, and I'm impressed by the visuals I've seen, as well as the mechanics of combat, and especially the creature comforts. You're gonna be going in and defeating monsters, but also summoning these demons to your side, and that seems pretty sweet. The character has crazy hair and is somebody who has dyed their hair blonde. I don't know if I'll ever grow it as long as that beautiful blue, but I am impressed. Now, it is turn-based combat, which isn't one of my favorite genres, but I have wanted Persona 5 on the Switch for a while now, and I think this is the closest we're gonna get for a bit. So I'm gonna take a flyer on it and hope that I fall in love. I really like the demon design of SMT5. I think the world is expansive. They've made smart decisions. The enemies appear on screen, and technically it looks good. I was impressed by the presentation. The load times are quick, and again, that hair. So November, it doesn't have a brand new exclusive for Switch, Pokemon aside, that's a remake. So SMT5 is where I'm placing my Thanksgiving faith, and hopefully I am grateful I did. My 6th pick comes from the same indie world where Eastward was announced. Last August, Devolver Digital put forth a title about cheating. It's called Card Shark. I really think this one looks cool. It's from the makers of Reigns, which is a really interesting, albeit simple card game. You're swiping left and right. It's like Tinder, but with a kingdom. Anyhow, Card Shark is about cheating in cards. There's all sorts of mini games in different locations and different card games, but there's roguelike progression and you're trying to earn as much money as possible, legally and illegally. It's just a really interesting concept, and we've seen so many card games as of late, like they do them all the time, and they're usually in the Slay the Spire fashion where, oh, acquire a deck and then use that deck to defeat enemies. But this one is a normal deck of playing cards, and it's more about manipulation. It's more about card tricks, and it's more about being sneaky. I think it just sounds super interesting. We haven't seen much of it. It's supposed to hit in 2021, and I really need it to do that. Card Shark also has this Renaissance graphical style that normally I would not like at all, but it makes it snazzy because of the mystery and the intrigue and the dirtiness, right? Like, these are characters that are a bit deceitful, and it just seems fun. I hope they're able to put together a unique little title, and like I said, the pedigree's there, so Card Shark is definitely one to watch for. All right, for number 7, let's get back to Nintendo first-party fun. It's WarioWare Get It Together, and they took a survey and said, yeah, this should be $50, which I feel good about because WarioWare was always best on the handheld, and now I can play WarioWare once again on the handheld. In fact, it'll look real nice on that OLED screen. But this one comes out in September, and it does allow you to sync up with another player. You get to actually play the quirky characters of WarioWare, and there's 200 minigames to go at it with. I don't expect this to win Game of the Year, but it's the perfect 5-minute chunker game. And I need some of those in my life, especially come NFL season when I'm frustrated that the Lions are losing every single game. Now, it's bringing in co-op for the first time in the franchise, but it doesn't have online, which is a bit of a bummer. Though I hope they pack this game with enough content to make it last and to make modern day players fall in love with Wario. I mean, he's getting the spotlight, so they better do him right. I think this pairs nicely with Mario Party Superstars. It's a game that just showcases how Nintendo loves to have fun. It's not gonna have some crazy story, there's not gonna be 100 hours of content, and it definitely won't be a games as a service, but it'll probably knock it out of the park with 30 seconds of fun, and that loop is what makes games special. And Nintendo knows that best. You thought I would leave it out? Well, I didn't. Number 8, our concluding title is Metroid Dredd, bringing Samus back to the forefront with a mainline entry for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Now, I've got a lot of hope for this one, okay? Let me take you back to a game on Xbox Live Arcade. Young Zack in high school playing Shadow Complex. I love that game because its tool set was so fun to use, and the movement was awesome. I 100%ed that thing because it was just so fun to play in the complex. Now, Dredd, I hope, can capture some of that same spirit while doing things its own Metroid-y way, even though there's not Metroids, there's just the weird evil robots that hunt you down as we hunt down them in amiibo form. Scalpers be gone, but Dredd does have chance to build on Samus Returns, which is a pretty good handheld game. Now they've got more power in the Switch, and I pray they take advantage of it. I know it is a Metroidvania, and by nature that means it's 2D, and the format is already established, but this one is $60. So what will Nintendo do to help justify that price point? Because it can't just be that Samus is a top tier character. It has to be that this game does a bit more. I think that's in terms of environments, in terms of spectacle, in terms of boss battles, in terms of upgrades and weaponry. I want this one to feel fleshed out, like a full campaign, a full adventure. There's a lot of competition in the Metroidvania space, even this year. Tom Happ is putting out Axiom Verge 2, which we know is going to deliver. Metroid Dredd better feel like a step up. And look, those Emmy robots could be the stars of the show, because there's supposed to be a variety of different types. And if Samus has to deal with each in a different way, utilizing a different move or different strategy, that could be awesome. Like 8 roaming bosses, each with their own tactics. I love that idea. And Mercury Steam is saying that Samus is more agile and capable than ever, so prove it. And it's Samus's best chance to sell a couple million copies. It's the best chance to be successful, and I want it to deliver the mood. They already nailed the look. I love the graphics, and there's a lot of good colors with sort of more muted choices in the background than Samus looking bright and vibrant in the foreground. Please, I'm worried about this one just in terms of how much there is there. I'd love for this to be one of my favorites the entire year. I'm desperately eager to play it, and we'll be doing that soon on that Switch OLED in October. Well, there you have it. 8 awesome games still coming in 2021 for Nintendo Switch. I feel like this year is missing the headliner, but it's more like all the pieces come together to make this a full slate. There's nothing that stands out above the rest like a Breath of the Wild or a Mario Kart, but all of these titles, and then plenty more, are gonna make it an exciting fall season for Switch fans. And it really kicks off this month because at least 2 of my top 8 titles are coming out in just a few weeks. But now it's your chance. Let me know in the comments down below if you like my list or if you disagree. What games do you think are the best for the rest of the year? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like button. Thank you guys and girls so much for watching. I appreciate your support each and every day. I know that I can't do this without you, and for that I say thanks. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, SwitchForce out.